Hey guys, here. Welcome to Market Monday, where we go over everything market and, well, the news of the hour, which is Team of the Week, Pat Pete. Now, Patrick Peterson is somebody that we expected through Most Feared because he's a traditional player. We've seen him before in the promo. His power-up, I believe, has gone up in price a little bit. I saw it at, 12K? A little under that where I was buying in anticipation. A lot of people bought for Tyreek Hill. We still do expect to see like a Tyreek Hill at some point. I don't know about a limited speed guy, but we got the speed master being a wide receiver. So maybe it'll be a cornerback. We don't know. But let's go through Peterson's power up. I think I have like 3 or 4 of them. We'll talk about other power up and investing in a little bit later in the, show right here. So let's filter through for Pat Pete as we can I'll put his name in there. But is it smart to keep investing in power-ups? I think for some of them, a lot of the market is catching on to them, but like some guys that are good, right? The good players, 18K, 20K, it's not a bad idea to sell on a hype. This has gone up, this is like doubled in a week's time, it looks like, from where I was buying it at. So I'll sell off, make, 40K profit or so on them. Not a bad idea. I don't think he'll be the best corner in the game, but Patrick Peterson cards are generally wanted, so he was a decent investment for those. So congratulations to his power-up investors. Once again, the stats will be able to get up to power-up 90, and then like either sprinter, brawler, 92 speed. So a pretty solid cromulent corner, man coverage type. He's actually got man press. Maybe not the greatest combo with Dion, because Dion's not a man presser. So I don't know if you could run one guy in man press, one guy in off man, and kind of go from there. But that is it for the news of the hour. Let's get on to a little bit of Most Feared and continue on with the show from there for what to do with the market here. So I did a video on Saturday, and when promos come out, I'm going to try to do videos quicker to get more market stuff out sooner. So these reroll sets, we know, we've tested them through the weekend on stream. A lot of people have been through them. Not glitchy. They've screwed us over. The only one that's okay is 77 to 81, as we talked about with the reroll sets and the training, but it's very tedious to do 77, 79s because it go for only a couple thousand coins. So I'll show it to you right here, the overall. Like you could buy 88s are the better ones, and then reroll them, and there's some profit there, but you have to list up. It takes an hour for them to buy to actually list at this price and get people to buy them at that price. So sure, it's there. It's minimal, but it's there. There was another one that me and my buddy Worms were talking about, and it's not the greatest of sets, but it basically did the calculations, if I can go all the way over here, on doing the Ray Lewis set. So you got to outlay like $675, which is how much the 92s cost per card on the block right now. So you outlay that much. You get back Ray's price plus 67,000 bats in NAT. You also get the 15,000 coins for the power-up cost. So that adds up to a sum total of 453, but that includes bats. And bats at 67 are valued slightly higher than that, 400K. So if you go 400K plus 370 is 770, which is, I don't know, it's quite a bit, right? It's quite a bit more than the outlay that you put into it. You can convert back. So I did a little math here, which is the bats, the coins, you got to minus tax divided by the amount of bats you can get. I don't know. Basically, it sort of breaks even a little bit more doing the race set over and over, but it's not something I'm going to recommend. Sure, the math is there, and the math kind of backs it up, but I don't actually love it. It takes a while to do, and time is money, and the profit isn't that extraordinary. So while there is a little bit of profit there, not anything I'm going to recommend as glitchy, but there is a little bit to be had at that point by re-rolling into the by rebuying the 88s and doing the race set. A little bit of profit there. Not a bad idea, not too hard, I guess. So do it if you guys want, but credit Worms for that one. Next up, I probably should have asked him if I could have exposed that. Screw it! We're doing it live. So the next thing I want to move on to is the 77 plus set. This one right here. This is kind of like cool because we can put limiteds on it. But I think the more limiteds we get, the better and the more value comes to training. Training and bats are up today as predicted. As we move forward through the week, there's not many like new things to do. People are using these things either for the rerolls, for cards on their teams, and training. It makes sense that it's going up. If we get a new part 2 on Thursday, they're gonna be doing reveals. They confirmed that Wednesday night on GMM. So we're getting a new second half on Thursday. I don't know how much the training market will be affected, but with new cards, new drops, and the ability to reroll for them, as we saw when the promo went live, these things actually went up slightly, the training market did. So maybe expect something unless EA screws up again and completely throws us for a loop for training. So I'm holding on to all of my training bats right now. I think it's fine to hold on to them also. There's an easy way. Like, if I had cards, I'd be holding on to cards too. The only issue is, like, maybe Team of the Week drops a little bit if they have another hot card besides for Pat Pete out there. Maybe it drops the market a little bit, but generally Team of the Week hasn't been really a market dropper going forward. So now I'm not going to say with 100% confidence that these things will go up in value, but they've gone up today from yesterday, and maybe we'll see a little bit more through all the way through Thursday, which to be fair, maybe they drop a crazy good set or pack on us that lowers the price. So anything can happen. EA could do anything to modify the market, but where we're sitting with these packs and how kind of mediocre they are, I do see a little bit of rise as people try and re-roll for the new cards that come out on Thursday as more bats are demanded for the new stuff. So we'll see what we get. So maybe, like I said, the counter forces of supply out of packs counteract that. Anyways, the exchange set. So I was re-rolling these 77 plus most feared, and whenever I get a gold or an 81 or an 83, I'd throw it into an exchange set. We tested it on stream. I didn't do the exact math on these exchange sets either. So basically, re-rolling from one to another creates arbitrage opportunities from bats to stuff you can quick sell for training. So if you combine 385s for an 87 to 88 pack, so 26.85, you can always snipe this way lower than that. Not way lower, but you can snipe it lower than that price. But you times that by 3, and you're rolling for 87 to 88s, you'll lose coins on the 87 because 26, 52, 78, and you'll only get 63 back, or 95 on the 88. So while it looks okay, you're like, oh wow, that's really cheap for those things. It's actually not that good because you could also re-roll an 88 from most feared and then take another L. So there's a lot of cards out there that are L's for 87 and 88s. Maybe not that profitable. So I'm just showing examples of re-rolls. Re-rolling the 77 to 79s at those prices. It's kind of very similar to re-rolling for like the 80s, because if you re-roll that, you're okay also. Like, so the 81, sorry, so the gold to low elites are fine, because it's 6-1 for 80 to 82s, and if you get a legend piece, it's like 20k. But the 81s are 8200, which isn't that good of a price break either from just straight 80s. So sadly, we're not seeing too many exchange sets be glitchy for us either. You would have thought maybe we can eke something out there, but that is not the case currently from what I see. If you have a way of doing it better, like there is like the 88s. 88s are really cheap too, just because there isn't a great reroll set for them. Like, so it's 3-1, 88. I'll show it to you. 3-1, 88 to 89 to 90, and 89 to 90s are 121 and 175. So yeah, even at 60k, 60, 120, 180 just to roll it, and you're generally taking L's. Sorry, 89 to 90. Sorry, right there. You're generally taking L's because even 90s will be L's. So it sucks, but the markets and the economists nailed it where the house always gets a take on every fun thing we do in MUT. All right, moving on. Oh yeah, a lot of people ask me, hey, what's a good way of getting training? Generally, if you want to get training, if you look at the spreadsheet, you'll see a little bit of a trend line here. So all these numbers I'm going to highlight, what's the trend line? You're like, is it go up or down or whatever? It's generally down. But the thing you want to look at most is odd numbers because of how people filter. You see how the odd numbers on each of these filters, the 82, 83, the 84, 85, 86, 87, do you see how their coins per training is lower? It's because when people filter those filters, they don't always go down to the odd number card. They always look at the top for the 88, the 90, the 86, the 84, and they don't go down to the 85s, 87s, 89s, 91s. So generally, if you're looking for training, buy odd numbered cards for training values, because they will actually be better because it's harder to filter by that slightly. And in this game is in a convenience business, and people just go conveniently with the lowest priced one at the top of the filters. So just a little pro tip to get cheaper training right there. Next up, talked about bats rising today, maybe over the next few days, unless we get something crazy from the MUT team. MUT 10 we're getting Friday, and I recommend either Randy or Dion, depending if you like offense or defense. If you pass the ball, Randy, if you play defense, Dion's pretty nice. Even though he's not great against the run, he still allows you to like play press man and knock a beat over the top against those like 3 tight end sets. So that's why I like Dion better than Moss, but Moss is absolutely game-changing offense if you pass. So depends on your scheme. If you pass a lot, I'd go Moss. If you, everything else, go Dion. But go ahead and get your favorite player. I may do a video ranking them once we figure out the wild card, who we see on Friday. I'll do a video for that to go more in depth on that stuff. But what I want to look at, we talked about this in previous weeks, or maybe I talked about it on stream, I don't remember. But I feel like the MUT 10 power-ups will get a little bit of demand once they come out. Now, I'm not sure we'll be able to get the power-ups with our card. If we get the power-ups when we get the card out of our packs for MUT 10 for the NAT, then nothing's going to happen to the price of them. If anything, they'll go down. But will power up, let's just say Deion Sanders. Will, like, if a lot of people choose Deion Sanders and maybe they sold off their power up beforehand, do you think his price will rise from 8K? Maybe. I don't know. I'm just going to buy it, see if I can't sell them. Because a lot of people are getting a lot of these cards for free. So we like, they sold these power-ups a while ago. They're like, well, now I got it. Now I want to invest in the best player in the game. So I'm okay. 11K, maybe look for snipes for these guys. We'll take a look at Moss too. 2 of the more demanded ones. But a lot of people are asking me, are these markets going to crash for Moss? Moss at 13K it's solid. But I'm not sure these things will crash, right? Like these prices, because we're getting NAT cards, and that's to be fair, a lot of people are going to be listing their NAT cards if they choose the same one. But not everybody has both Moss and Sanders, or Joe Thomas and his glitchy lead block chem. I forgot what the heck it was called right off the top of my head. Or Peppers, or Megatron, or Vic, even Bo. So people are going to want to add a lot of these cards to their team, so the demand is still going to be there. There's not more supply of these hitting the market. The supply is only going to be hitting people's binders NAT style. So I don't foresee a huge crash. I do see a little bit of some people listing their cards back on the market, but I don't feel until Series 3, which is probably in November sometime, are we going to get kind of like a lowering of the prices. Even if you remember Series 2 when it started, the reduxes were still quite expensive. So I do see a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be dramatic. It's not going to be cut in half in price, in my opinion. Now, it could always change. I don't know if I've been through, or if we have community have been through something like this for MUT 10. But we have been through a situation where a lot of people got NAT golden tickets, and it didn't really lower the price of golden tickets that much. So even if the price does go down, maybe a week later it'll bound back up as people start absorbing the cards back onto their teams. Always a good idea. The legend piece thing, you buy them during the week, you sell them on the weekend. That thing's been consistent for a few weeks. Been able to make some coins off it. Generally, a decent idea. Just want to put that back out there. Snipe filters for right now. I think you always want to, most always, the MUT Heroes were great when that training thing came into the store. Those things crashed. We bought a bunch, and now they've gone up in price. I've really used them for training, for upgrades and stuff, and rerolls, but that was a good investment for a lot of people that were there on stream with me. We made a lot of coins that day, and for where it's today. So, a lot of filters here for most feared. 85 is not bad. You can go team by team with the ones you know, position by positions, to find certain snipes. That's always nice for promos when they come out. So, 27 is right there. Not a good snipe. So, that's kind of what I expect you to do for filters right now as the most feared promo goes on. The morning that the next one drops, Thursday is a great morning to do sniping because people are ripping packs like crazy. People mislabel or put up their cards or put them out way too cheap. But like I always say, it's always tough, and it's bad to snipe in a falling market, like when cards first come out and they start high and then they're going down, because you could snipe and the price is still going down and then you'll end up losing coins. So there's that risk in a falling market, but generally these markets are pretty well set pretty soon after the bell rings of the new cards coming out. So as long as you're not like within the first 10 seconds of sniping a card that you think's 500k, but you snipe it at 400k, then all of a sudden 10 minutes later it's 300k. As long as you're not doing that, as long as you're sniping, people will still be pulling packs quite a bit, listing stuff, but good luck, happy hunting. That's the Market Monday. Let me know if you have any other questions. Once again, maybe we'll show the Pat Pete as we get out of here. I hope I explained everything well. I feel like I missed something. Limited times at a 77 plus set. Yes, I think I said that. Reveals Wednesday night for set 2. I said that. EA, please change the 92 to 92 plus set. That's the one thing I want EA to do. Going forward, EA, please, please, please. This shit was so fun. MUT needs to be fun, first of all. Please, I beg you. We need this. This should be 92 plus. So we get a good shot, a decent shot at limiteds. That makes MUT fun. Please make MUT fun. All right, guys, take it easy.